Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Prodigy of the Universe. It's your girl Kim in the building. Here to bring y'all another reading, okay? I want to get a little deep with y'all. Can I get a little deep? As y'all can see from the title, this reading is not just about self-preservation, but one's will to live. And I feel like I was guided to talk about this because it's a very real thing. Not just to have the will to live, but to be able to maintain it and continue along this journey we call life, okay? With that being said, I want to talk about this a little bit. And then I'm thinking about pulling cards on, where you at when it comes to your self-preservation and your will to live, okay? Just so we can check in on it, because sometimes we could get caught up in everyday life and the things that's going on that we don't stop to check in on it, okay? And what I mean by that is when we're talking about one's will to live, some of us, we've lived our whole life in survival mode, okay? If you know, you know. Some people don't even know what it is to live in survival mode, okay? But it is definitely a very real thing, absolutely. So the will to live is basically you having the desire to just keep going in life, okay? It's easy to give up. It's easy to lose your will to live, okay? And oftentimes it's not clear enough for people to see it when people lose this will to live, right? Which is why we have people that go out here and take themselves out. I'm not going to say the C word, okay? But a very real thing, okay? So that's why I want to talk about this today. When we're talking about the will to live, it's like one being able to cope with life. And everybody, believe it or not, don't know how to cope with life, okay? That's why we got people that get hooked on drugs and addictions of different kinds because they want to escape. They cannot cope with life and might even have lost or their will to live. They might even have lost their will to live, or it has gotten little as a mustard seed, okay? I guess you can compare your will to live to faith, to hope, okay? Because humans, first of all, we are all spiritual beings having this human experience on this journey called life, right? And instinctually, we equip with tools, right? One of those tools being hope and faith, okay? And sometimes we can face adversary, trials and tribulations in life where people can't handle it. Some people can. And this is where these things come into play, and pretty much it determines whether or not your will to live is broken or rebuilt, okay? Sometimes we're faced with challenges and things in life that can, try to tear us down, try to break us. It's a spiritual war going on. So everything is just not physical. It starts spiritual first, okay? And with that being said, just like we're born with all our organs and body parts, we are also born with tools, spiritually speaking, and feelings, emotions, and attitudes and personalities that determine our will to live as well. So I hope all that just made sense. Depending on the individual, it's going to depend, and believe it or not, our whole life is written. I know. I'm the most skeptic of all skeptics. I didn't believe in any of this at one point. Okay? So trust me and believe me when I say it depends on each individual's life experience that will shape their will to live. And again, it's something that we work hard during the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, the challenges that life throws at us. We work hard to maintain this will to live, okay? From a psychological perspective, the will to live is having the desire to just keep going in life. You know, to feel some type of joy, some type of hope, you know, to feel like you belong. You know, sometimes love and relationships can empower our will to live, make it stronger, right? But what happens when you don't have that or you feel like you don't? One can lose their will to live, okay? And this is why self-preservation is important, guys. Again, instinctively, we are born wanting to survive, wanting to like have this thing called self-preservation, and you know, it's in us. But some of us lose it along the way, depending on life circumstances. And life is real. It's nothing to play with. So it's important to have people, support systems that are strong, that are around you with high vibrational energy to help strengthen your will to live and help you to keep going and not give up. Because one thing is promised and two things is for sure, change is going to happen, as well as death. But while you're here, it's important for one to at least try to maintain this will to live, so the desire for your will to live will not burn out and you will not lose that, because it's like losing yourself. It's both emotional and mental, right? So it's important for your emotional state to be well balanced in a higher vibration, as well as your mental state to be well balanced and in a higher vibration. And this is something we work hard to maintain and keep afloat daily, right? It's easier for others, harder for some, okay? And that is why I feel like this video is important. Think about people in your life. And think about you. Have you ever checked in to see how strong your will to live is? Like, many times we think about this only when we're going through things, hard things, life-threatening things, like when one has ill will, not ill will, ill health. You know, if you ever been faced with life-threatening health news or situations, you question this will to live, right? And some of us have, some of us haven't. But if you have, then you know what I'm saying. Where you get to questioning everything about yourself. You know, sometimes we can lose a loved one and we don't want to be here anymore. That's where you lose this will to live. I've been there, done that. I speak from personal life experience, losing a child. I just wanted to die with my baby. So you have to like maintain this will to live, because it will be tested, it will be tried, okay, you guys, and this is very important. Sometimes you can see it in others, even if they don't know what's going on themselves, where they lost hope, they lost faith, they don't feel like they have a reason to keep going or keep fighting, or they just don't find joy in living life to the fullest anymore for whatever reason. those are the people that need us the most. Whether this is family, friends, or total strangers that you take care of. Maybe you work with these people. Sometimes you could be the last person to change how somebody feels about their will to live. So it's very important, because how you deal with people and how people deal with themselves and what they're going through will impact this will to live as well. So we don't want to be a liability in one's life, right? We want to be more of an asset where we bring joy, where we bring hope, right? We spread love. Let people know that they too matter. It don't matter what they're going through, what drugs they might be on, what trials and tribulations they might be facing. Because I don't care how much money you have. We all go through these things. These tower moments. Things coming out the blue. Catching us off guard. Happening to us out of nowhere. Random life events that can really make or break somebody. This is important for people to acknowledge along the way, because you never really know what the next person is going through. I've learned valuable life lessons. Me being a nurse, I've encountered many people that just talk at the end of their life or when they're sick, like they don't want to be here anymore. And I've always been that one that try to encourage them, tell them don't talk like that. But I've been in situations with people where they meant what they said. I just did not listen to them. So it's important to listen when people are telling you how they feel. It's important to pay attention to people's emotional and mental states. Okay, because some people do just get tired. They do. And they lose this will to live. And it brings me to ask myself, once you get to that point, is it possible to get your will to live back? Some people do, and some people don't. It's like going through an awakening. Once you know the truth, it's hard to go back and act like you and unknow it, right? Once you woke, it's hard to go back to sleep. Once you know the truth, it's hard for you to live a lie. You understand? So I feel like it's another very important factor in this thing called life that we need to look at, observe, and analyze when it comes to ourselves as well as those around us. Children even, okay? We got babies battling terminal illness. They always, 8 out of 10 times, in the best of spirits. Me working in the medical field, I've watched this and wonder, how could this child that's going through so much be so strong and so joyful and so happy with everything they're going through? It also makes me question God. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Why would you take a baby through all that? Because God don't discriminate. He don't care how old you is. God don't believe in that. He reign on the just and the unjust. He take the seniors as well as the babies. You understand? We can't begin to know how God thinks. And some things we will never understand or have the answers to. I don't care how psychic you claim to be or gifted you claim to be. It's geniuses out here that didn't figure everything out. Everything is not meant to be figured out. We got people out here, believe it or not, that are trying to play God in more ways than one. very real, to the point where they recreating human beings in labs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The other C word. And when you think about the alphabet, the letter C is the third letter. It's supposed to represent criminals in numerology. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, my bad. Okay, so yeah, my goal on this channel is just to encourage people, uplift people, and let y'all know that the important things, not just how somebody feels about being with you or having sex with you, right? We touch on real life shit over here on this channel. We touch on very real things to get people through everyday life. It is really dark, evil, depressive, lower negative vibrational energy that a lot of people need to work on and get through. Because this darkness is what's stopping us from shining. It's what's stopping us from seeing the light, the truth, the way, right? Like Jesus said. Even though probably wasn't his name. But anyway, it's just like very important for us to pay attention to that with ourselves first. I feel like personally you have to work on your internal self, because what you feel internally affects how you live externally, right? It's important to keep your mind right. They say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. People lose their mind every day, B. Every day. Or do they? They lose touch with reality and could get lost there, spiritually speaking. So they look crazy, but spiritually, something else is going on behind the scenes. Have they lost their will to live? I guess that would depend on the individual, what they've been through, and that would be hard to diagnose in a person. Unless you studied psychology and human behavior, you might be an expert in it, right? And be able to identify with someone who's lost their will to live. It's possible, but nothing is impossible. Spiritually speaking, something else could be going on behind the scenes. At the end of the day, you will be surprised how many people don't pay attention to these things and know that people are battling these things, coping with life, trying to hold on. Everybody ain't got it made. Some people got to work really hard, extra hard for what they want, for happiness. The free things, the simple things we all want are free. Sometimes society play a role in that, where it can kill your will to live. Let's talk about it. Society, being the elite, I ain't gonna say the name, the 1%, makes it hard for us to have a strong will to live. This is true. Because when you're talking about the will to live, when you're talking about society, you have to talk about the limitations that society puts on the people for personal gain. Because who really gaining from it? Are we gaining anything? How can you charge something that's not rightfully yours? You know what I mean? How can you put a price on something that's not rightfully yours? Nothing belongs to them. It belongs to God, our Creator, who created all things, the one and true only real God. Yet, in society, we pay for everything, from the water we drink to the money we get, we pay taxes on it. It's like paying taxes on top of taxes. If you know, you know, but that's not what that video is about. But my point is the limitations that's put on one, put on an individual, can really have an effect on one's will to live. Okay, they really know how to take the joy out of life, keeping you struggling, keeping you in survival mode. So therefore, you can't enjoy life. You can't become the best version of yourself. They try hard to stop you from becoming your higher self, the best version of you. We live in the age of Aquarius where you got a lot of people that's rebelling against that though right now when it comes to society. That's woke. That's like, no, not taking that shit. Like, we're not doing that. Because we know the truth, right? Call me a savage, call me a rebel, whatever you want to call me. Rebel. Not revel, rebel. We're in the age of Aquarius. And again, once you know the truth, it's hard to live a lie. So that's why we have people that's rebels and savages out here. And they are needed in this world. Because we got certain people in society that want you to just go along with their plan, go along with their control. At the end of the day, it's all about control. Once they control everything, even your will to live, your mental state, your emotional state, they feel like they got you. But see, God is so powerful. And above all things and all people. They get some people, they don't get everybody. You feel me? If you know, you know. And that's where God come in with his chosen ones. And the 144,000 hertz. If you know, you know. It's not meant for everybody to be on that frequency. Or be of a higher vibration. So that's why spiritual war is a very real thing. Just like physical war. A very real thing. You have to use your discernment to know which frequency you are meant to be on when you grow and evolve. So you know, all this stuff is important when we talk about spiritual growth and evolution in this journey called life. Because just like people in society hide things in plain sight, so do God with his people. Or her people. So yeah, when we talk about the will to live, we're talking about the desire to keep going. In the face of anything and everything that life has thrown at you. And it's going to throw some shit, believe that. Some shit that's going to make or break you. But it's a choice. This will to live. Your choice. The individual's choice. Everything is a choice. Choices impact our lives. Every choice we make is the bed we lie in. We are co-creators. If you think about every choice you made, it's pretty much why you at where you at. This is true. But see, some people even have a hard time accepting that. They want to blame others for being where they at when it's your fault. It was your fault the whole time. It's important to accept accountability and to stop being in denial and accept this, that it was your choice, that it was you the whole time. Then we won't have people blaming others for where we are in life or how strong our will to live is. It is something you have to fight for daily and keep will maintained, as well as your emotional state and your mental state and your spiritual state. Let's not forget that. Because sometimes once your spirit is weakened by entities and energies and other human beings, right? And things, trials and tribulations, your spirit can get beat the fuck up. Yeah. Spirits be fighting. Yeah. You can get beat up spiritually, just like you can physically. May the best spirit win. But it's important to know. Again, and accept accountability and accept it as truth because it is truth. We talk about truth over here. I'm a Capricorn and, I go off personal life experience. I go off of facts, evidence, or you can't just get me to believe anything, basically. So the fact that I'm here telling y'all this is a very real thing. I'm not just spreading lies at all. We don't do that over here. We spread truth over here. Direct, straight, no chaser. Straight to the point. Because shit is very real out here. And I feel like being a Capricorn, we need more people like me in this world. If not, everybody would be living in illusions and being delusional and blaming others and not accepting, responsibility as well as accountability. I too have to work on these things. Nobody's extinct. You understand? Nobody. And if you don't work on these things, guess what? You'll fail. You'll fail in life. You'll lose your will to live. I always say, fight the good fight. God didn't promise us we weren't going to go through shit. He did promise us he would comfort us through the shit. So fight the good fight. I'm not just making this video to tell y'all, but one day I'm leaving a legacy and my children might need to look back on this video. So that's how you know I'm not going to tell y'all no lies. That's really my purpose with this channel. Not to make money, even though it would be a good thing, a great thing. It's deeper than that, though. You can't take none of that shit with you when you die. Nothing. If you can't take a body organ with you, you can't take nothing. You can't even take the bones. Only thing you is taking is your spirit. So keep your spirit healthy in a higher vibration. Fight to keep your spirit healthy. And it will be a fight. I promise you it will. We have to learn to be in control of our mental state, our emotional state. And believe me, I struggle with this. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I struggle with this daily. You know, keeping your mental state and your emotional state healthy is important. Because we do stupid things and we do unhealthy things when it's not, healthy. We do fucked up things. We backslide. We go backwards. Our whole life could fall apart with one choice that we make. And sometimes if your mental state and your emotional state and your spiritual state not healthy and not right or in the right place, it can affect you tremendously, detrimentally, to the point where one can lose everything, including their mind. You can lose lovers, being unstable emotionally. Everybody want love, but they don't want to do what it takes to keep and maintain the love. Right. They don't want to fight for love. Quick to give up. That ain't never been me. If I gave up, I done gave you 1,000 tries. And it just ain't in me no more to give you another one. But once I love, because I love hard, and this is friends, this is people that if I ever told you I love you, then I meant that shit. Because Capricorns don't just go around telling people they love them. They barely want to hug a person. You hear me? Because me personally, that energy, I barely want people to touch me. It's contagious. You feel me? That energy is contagious. So you got to be careful who you let touch you. You got to be careful who you let pray for you. Who in your home, who in your life, who affects your mental and what you take in. You got to be careful with what you put in your body, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because all that energetically can affect you. I be so mad at God sometimes because I am a Capricorn. So if you know, you know. Everything comes later for us. Everything. I be so mad at God because of that. Because if I'd have known a long time ago what I know now, my life would have been totally different. Totally different. But it's all for a reason. And again, we might not understand or know everything. It ain't meant, but everything is order with God. Nothing is out of order and nothing is a mistake. I was watching this video the other day about a hermaphrodite. And I'm only talking about this because this person, still a spiritual being, having a human experience, born this way, with no other choice, you hear me, but to have both parts sexually, which your sexual organs don't make up a person and who they are spiritually. And on the inside, it's just physically sort of like a defect. And if you ever, had a defect, then you would understand this. Like, my son that died of a defect. But anyway, back to this person, had no choice, born that way. Yet, it's not accepted by society. Yet, goes through a lot. I can only imagine. With lovers, with people, with jobs, with thyself. But she was like the strongest person talking. Like, as I was listening to her documentary, I just came across it. Was curious, right? Because it's a very rare thing. Some people are born very rare, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault because they different. They're not accepted because they're different, but God has a greater purpose for those people, believe it or not. Born to be used and to educate people in that way. But I'm sure it didn't always seem like that for that person. It could seem like a blessing and a curse sometimes for that person to even be alive. When we're talking about the will of life, the self-preservation. You know what I mean? And again, I made a video before and I talked about like how everybody always want to say something starts from home. It don't always start from home. Sometimes it's not till you jump off the porch and you go outside and you come in contact with society. And even if you don't go outside, say you can't get outside, it's what you, again, come in contact with through the television, through the music, through the influence, right? Because of the influence society has on people, the way it is, it make life hard for a lot of people. Not only being accepted for who they truly and honestly are in their authentic self, but for how they cope with life. Things we encounter and have to deal with every day. In a perfect world, everything would be free. But we live in a world where ain't shit free. I'm surprised they're not charging us for oxygen to breathe. That might be coming next. Sadly. I could talk to y'all forever about these things. But the point is, just check in from time to time on your will to live. Because at times it can be healthy and it can be unhealthy. The key is to keep it well balanced, everything in life. You know, it's like having hot and cold water. If you have just hot water, you'll get scalded, you'll get burnt. Sometimes 3rd degree, which is terrible, right? The worst burns ever. Make me wonder, do they actually have 4th and 5th degree burns? Probably, but and if you have just cold water, then it can freeze you. It can be so cold, your fingertips get numb, right? So it's important to be able to have both for warm water a lot of times, okay? And the same thing with our emotions, keeping them well balanced, our mental state, and our will to live, our spiritual state. All right, what else? Even the sexual state is what I'm hearing. Because some people can become a sex object, believe it or not. Some people go through life losing hope in their will to live, and they feel like they're a sexual object, you know, just giving a portal away to everybody, just not loving themselves. So therefore, they just become like a sex symbol, and society use that as well, as you can see with all entertainment right now. But which can end up very bad for those people. You understand? If it's not well balanced. They take these things to the extreme sometimes. And they call you whores, male or female, or they'll call you crazy if it's your mental state took to the extreme. Or they'll call you spiritually, I don't know, they either call you an atheist and say you don't have faith or you don't believe in God, or you just holier than thou to the other extreme, or you just a part of a cult, you know, when we talk about the extremes, spiritually speaking. Y'all get what I'm saying though, right? So, I think I've been clear. It's important to stay motivated and around those who will support you, who will uplift you, who will encourage you, who will inspire you. Because you're feeding yourself with all of these things inside your vessel, inside your temple, inside your energetic body, some type of way. It's just better to have more healthier balance than unhealthy. Trust and believe me. And sometimes these things are visible and sometimes they're not. So that's why I felt it was important to talk about this. It's very real. Life is not a game. Some people think it is though. So we're going to start all the way from Aries, the Pisces, and in that order. And we're going to look at what your will to live might look like in these cards. I got 4 decks in front of me, so I think I'm going to pull one card from all 4 decks and try to see what I can get for each sign. Hopefully this video won't run out of time, because I want to make it more specific to the individual signs. Okay? Or should I do numbers? No, I ain't gonna do numbers. That's too advanced right now. Give me Aries and their will to live. Show me what it's looking like right now. And remember, guys, we're looking at the health of your will to live. Like, because can you really look at the will to live for somebody? The states, if that makes sense. I should have took some of these cards out. Anyway, Aries, show me Aries. And they will to live. Whatever comes out in these 4 deck of cards. I'm going to pull 4 cards. That's it. Unless I feel the need to clarify, which I don't want to. Because I'm already 40 minutes in. Show me Aries. And what their will to live is looking like. So we have this card. With this card. With this card. And with this card. So Aries, when I think about your will to live, it's looking like you probably been through a lot of things. Very cautious when it comes to like your will to live. I feel like you do go to God. You do have some sort of connection with the, with the ethers, with the spiritual beings. When it comes to your will to live, I feel like you are doing everything. You're cautious of it and you protect it, okay? You're very cautious of it and protect it, your will to live. I feel like you don't take it lightly. You are aware of other people, too, who have ill will for your will to live. I feel like y'all have been through a lot of changes and challenges, too, that has affected your will to live. But I feel like with the World card here, you know how to come back from it. You're very cautious about other people. Just average people trying to take advantage of you, trying to get over on you, trying to start conflict with you. You're You protect your space and your energetic field when it comes to these people. So that's a very good thing, Aries. We ain't gonna stay long. I just wanted to look at it. Like the video if it makes sense and resonate. Let's go to Taurus. Got this card, Taurus. Show me Taurus. This card. This card. And lastly, this card came back out. Taurus, I feel like you've been to a point where your will to live have really been broken, okay? Broken like glass at times. It's been times where you've just felt dead inside and had to bring it back, your will to live. You had to bring it back to life, is what I'm seeing here. You feel like you don't have too much of a support system, or nothing could feel like home to you, if that makes sense. It's like you're not feeling the love. And possibly feeling like everybody is just like a hidden enemy or out to get you. So a lot of people has affected your will to live. Specifically, your mental state has been affected. And when it comes to like love and support, if that makes sense. I feel like you be knowing though. And you just get to a point where you just cut everybody off. So in a way, you still protect your will to live, but you have conflict with it. So I hope that makes sense, Taurus. I'm going to elaborate long, because again, I got to get through all the signs. But let's go to Gemini. Gemini, you have this card. This card. This card. And I don't know why this card keep coming back out, but this came out with this, so we're going to take it. This Five of Swords just keep coming out. Gemini with Mercury, you know, being your ruling planet. Your will to live have played a little bit on your mental state, I feel. But I can't take you serious, Gemini. I feel like it's something about the goofiness or laughter that gets you through whatever trials and tribulations that you might face. It's like you're wise enough and old enough. Well, some of y'all could be older watching, but wise enough to like be able to see, you know, when your will to live is being affected by others. Also wise enough to go through to God. I feel like y'all are spiritually inclined in some type of way. So you believe in something, even if it's by self, right? So you laugh it off. Like you think it's funny. And, you know, this thing called life. Or when it comes to your will to live. You also feel like whatever is destined, gonna be destined, okay? You believe in your truth, okay? You feel like you were born like to go through these things. So being able to have a handle on it, or to have your will to live well balanced. Okay, we have spouse here. So I feel like you got a good connection, balanced connection with your will to live here. And when it's off kilter, I'm hearing, you just go to whatever you believe in spiritually, even if it's thyself. Okay? But you're wise enough to know that it's just destined to be this way. And you're okay with that. That's what I'm getting. So I feel like it's pretty strong. Your will to live here. So let's go to Cancer. We have this for you, Cancer. We had 2 cards that came out with this. We have the High Priestess and the Ace of Wands that came out. Y'all got a lot of cards coming out, Cancer. It's just telling me that you've been through a lot and you go through a lot. Queen of Wands. When it comes to your will to live, I feel like, Cancer, y'all could feel like a dark energy or entity has the authority over it sometimes. Like, you faced with a lot of dark times. You feel like a baby when it comes to your will to live. Like, if that makes sense. Like, not really being too educated or sure about it. Like, you be in your emotions a lot, like a baby. When it comes to, like, things that you go through in life or face in life. Or it's just like things drown you, if that makes sense. Like, or you go through deep, dark things, okay? But your intuition, like, guides you through these things and help you to get back, okay, is what I'm feeling. Or to help you to have some sort of new will of, new self-preservation, right? And then I'm getting, because you rebuild your confidence in that area, like when it comes to your will to live. Like, but it's just telling me you went through a lot. And it gets tested, very much so. It's like being a little naive when it comes to the your will to live, not knowing much about it or how it's affecting you. It can get pretty dark there, is what I'm getting. You be mad sometimes. I feel like you be feeling like it's out of your control sometimes. But having this knowing of how to bring it back, if that makes sense. So, I do feel like your will to live, Cancer, is tested a lot. But it's a spiritual presence, I feel, around you. Or just whatever you believe in spiritually that's able to bring you back. Or strengthen it. Your will to live. Let's go to Leo. We have this card. We have this card. This card. And this card. So Leo, off rip, I'm getting you're in tune with your will to live. You work on it a lot. You could be even like healing it with this amethyst here with music, okay? In some type of way. Whether you listen to music, sing, write. I feel like you know how to creatively channel energy to make it better around you when it comes to your will to live, right? I feel like it's pretty high. It's given the top of this pyramid. Your will to live it. It's pretty well balanced. I do feel like some of you guys could have been to a point where you actually wanted to where you actually lost your will to live, right? It's given the C word with this, okay? Due to some conflict or some other people. But I feel like you've had to heal your will to live at one point and get through some things, okay? It could have been when you were younger is what I'm getting. Or at a very naive state or place in life. But I feel like you are very much in tune with your will to live right now. And keep doing what you're doing. Every time I feel like you go through something, you know how to channel that in a creative way. So I hope that makes sense. That's what's up. Leo. Let's go to Virgo. Virgo. That's what I'm hearing, Virgo. I've used these cards for a long time. We had 2 cards to come out there. And 2 cards to come out here. I'm getting, it is a battle when it comes to your will to live, Virgo. You've actually gotten to the point where you feel like this is my, if you ever been with me watching me, this is my dead relatives card. This is my ancestors card, my spiritual card, right? So it's telling me with this card that you have lost your will to live before, Virgo. You've been through very deep things. Or maybe you're just a deep person. You've dealt with a lot of dark things. You've like been in the face of so much adversary to the point where you could have, tried hard to turn your back, but always having to battle these things, okay? Limitations, restrictions, and fighting these demons or whatever, so to speak, right? Even feeling like unloved, right? Just feeling like this is the worst life, okay? That's what I'm getting. But I feel like you know how to you're getting to the point where you could be trying to I feel like it's 2 inside of you. And what I mean by that is 2 different energies. I'm getting 2 different energies inside of you. But it's you know how to switch in between these energies, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's really giving you are able to when it comes to your will to live, maybe it goes back and forth. Maybe it switches. But I feel like inside of you, you have these energies. I'm going to just call them energies. Where they can be toxic, they can be cold, they can be loving, they can be exciting or adventurous. And it's you know how to play with them. I know I sound crazy, but I hope this is making sense. You could feel cursed, Virgo. So yeah, I feel like you probably should work on your will to live a little bit, okay? Because I feel like it could be in a a lonely, dark place. I'm gonna just say that. But just know, if it is there, to where it's at the darker extreme or you're going through something very dark, know that God is still there to comfort you. This will be you, Virgo, and this will be God. And that's why I say that. I hope that just made sense. I'm getting all type of stuff with this, for real, that I don't even want to talk about. It's almost like, Virgo, people get to choose who they want to deal with when it comes to you. When we talk about this thing called self-preservation. But when we talk about your will to live, yeah, it's some things you need to heal inside. Let's go to Libra. Libra. Come on now. I don't want all them cards, Libra. Galactic. Back out here. When I think of that card, I think of space. I be thinking of the stars, the ethers. Two of Wands. With the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like it's well balanced, Libra. You believe in something spiritually, okay? You know how to go to God or whatever you believe in spiritually, and you go there, okay? So I feel like that's a healthy thing. You do go through things, okay, where sometimes you can like distance yourself or go through things where you feel alone, and you can like your will to live can get low, but I feel like you know how to change it, okay? You go to the universe. What better person or entity or energy to go to? So I feel like it's healthy, and you know how to protect your will to live when it comes to different partnerships and all that. You know how to change things. You go within. So I feel like it's at a healthy space and place, Libra. Let's go to Scorpio. I don't know, guys. I'll just be guided to do different things. Whoa, Scorpio. You got too many cards. But I'm gonna take them because they all came out. Look at these cards. And just because this many cards came out for you, Scorpio, and then all these cards look dark. I haven't even pulled all the cards, but look at the backgrounds. We're going to talk about them cards. Let me pull the rest of these cards. Wow. I don't want two cards. I got enough. Wow, Scorpio, I do feel like your will to live is in a really dark place right now. I'm not going to lie. I was already picking that up with these cards. It's just too dark in the backgrounds. You've been doing a lot of reflecting on your will to live and on this thing called life. You've even you feel dead inside, or you're ready to say goodbye. Going through some things. I do feel like you struggle to fix or mend what's torn or broken inside of you. It could be that you've been reflecting a lot on different events, family members, different times, right? That you've been in dark places. And it seemed like this is all you've been through, was having to go through these things and fix these things. And it's just like, some of y'all got I'm hearing the death stare, okay? When you look at others, or just period. This could have to do with your health, okay? Something with your health could have made you lose your desire, your will to live. Some of you guys just have to do with an overindulgence. It's some clarity that you got. You can feel like it's just over with. But I feel like you've been through a lot of darkness, a lot of betrayal, a lot of hard things. I almost want to cry, Scorpio. I feel like this is to the extreme. On the dark side, your will to live. So there is a need for you to really work on this, Scorpio. Please, I'm begging you. It is not over yet. I feel more stronger about your reading than I did just with Virgos. But Virgo, if you still listen, the same thing to you. It's not over yet. You have the power to change it. Even though you think you don't. I don't care what health issue you might be going through. I don't care what overindulgence might have affected you. I don't care who in your life have betrayed you, hurt you, wronged you. You have the power to change it. As long as you still got breath in your body. Every day is a new day, a present day for a reason, Scorpio. But you've been beat up. When we talk about your will to live. And I'm seeing that and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dang, that was just a combination of all the worst cards. I feel like pulling advice for you, Scorpio, and I ain't feel like this with no other pile. Give me advice from my Scorpios, from the Most High God. 5 of Wands, definitely. It's a lot going on. Some conflict that you're going through. God wants you to know that it'll be all right. It's light on the other side. It's light at the end of the tunnel. If, you're going through some conflict, but Spirit, the universe is here to tell you you are innocent, Scorpio. That you are just like a young child. God wants you to know that He is aware of all the challenges and the conflict and the battles that you've been going through and having to fight. But you need to see this and, God wants you to know that I am there. And it's going to be a happy outcome. Because why? The Ace of Swords is at the bottom of the deck, but it's something you need to be clear about. It's something that you need to see, Scorpio, Spirit says. You need to be honest and real with yourself. You had to see this, says the Lord. It's only a happy outcome if you fight. I'm hearing fight to get your crown back. Overcome these challenges because you can. You are more than capable, is what I'm hearing. But God is there with you, Scorpio. God is saying you can get through all of these things. You can overcome all of these things, whatever challenges it is, whatever obstacles it is, and you can have a happy outcome. God wanted you to know that, Scorpio. Let's go to Sagittarius. We have this card, Sagittarius. This card, Sagittarius. This card, Sagittarius. And this card, Sagittarius. I feel like you have went through a period in time where you went through something that changed you and changed your will to live at one point. And it's been a time where you might even had to I'm getting a near-death experience, or you went through a change where you were very vulnerable and you could almost die. Life just was lifing, right? But you made a vow. You made a vow, Sagittarius. You made a vow. Whether it was to yourself or to whatever you believe in spiritually. To keep taking care of your will to live And that's what you are doing. Okay? I do feel like this could have been emotional. Well, affected emotionally. Remember we talked about that. It could have even been like a change you went through with somebody that you love. Probably passed away, where you felt like what I was describing with my own child, right? It tested your will to live is what I'm seeing, Sagittarius, but I feel like it's very well balanced, honestly. We have a union here. But you've been tried and tested. You've went through some changes for sure. When it comes to your will to live. Some of y'all actually did get to a point where you just didn't want to be here anymore. But you know how to bring yourself back, is what I'm getting. Or you did that, Sagittarius. And that's what's up. It's not easy. This thing called life. Show me Capricorn. We have this card, Capricorn. And I'm glad this card came out because look how this person got on all black. A lot of Capricorns wear all black. So the cards are carding. Imprisonment or slavery. I don't like that card though. I seen it, so I'm taking it. And I was told to take it. Ooh, Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Look what's at the bottom. Someone told me to look. And I wasn't guided to look at nobody else's, but I was already sensing and picking up this energy with this card. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Who else I was saying that for? Was it Gemini? I want to say Capricorn. You've been through the worst of the worst, the darkest of the places when it comes to your will to live. You've been backstabbed, betrayed, going through a lot of getting stabbed in the back, being put down, having to dodge bullets, all that I'm seeing. And you a bad bitch or nigga. Yeah, I feel like telling you that. You changed your own destiny. You changed this around when you felt like you were dead inside. When you actually lost your will to live. Some of y'all actually even trying to take yourself out or put yourself out there as a sacrificial lamb to be taken out, is what I'm hearing. You did a 360 though. I'm hearing you running a dozen like donuts. So this was a circle. You did a 360, Capricorn. And it was because you felt stuck and in prison, like things weren't moving. You could have felt like lock me up and throw away the key is what I'm hearing. You could have felt like you're not good enough. You actually been to the point where you tried the C word. I'm not going to say it, but you healed that. You healed that. You've been through the worst of the worst again, Capricorn. You decided to go in another direction, though. This card tells me that you did a 360 as well as this card. So you know how to heal it. And loss or things you regret could have took you there. Could have been a loss, a death, or things you regret in life could have took you there. You've been through a lot of sadness. Lived a life of grief. I'm sorry, Capricorn. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that. It's almost look like Scorpio's reading. I almost want to cry. But you know why I'm not going to cry? Because you a bad bitch or a nigga. I could say that word. And I see you turning this around, so I'm not going to cry. I see you healing this. But it's a battle, it's a fight still. Every day. I'm hearing if it was 10 days in a week, every day you was going through something. And through a lot of gray skies. But you know what make me feel good? This pink and this yellow. Maybe you should wear those colors, Capricorn. I feel like pulling advice for you. Not much, just a little advice. But yeah, because you've turned it around, Capricorn, and trying to heal it, I'm not going to beat you up like Scorpio. But I'm going to pull advice from the Most High God, our Creator. We have the Death card and the Chariot, see? And God is saying, it wasn't time for you to, go. It wasn't your time, or, they were just changes you were going through. It's time to move forward now. That's what Spirit is saying. I'm hearing you thought your vehicle died, but it still got gas in it. I'm hearing all of this. You see how them gray skies turn from gray to yellow again. Maybe wear yellow, Capricorn. Yeah, you went through a lot of changes, Spirit says. Not knowing which way to go. But one thing's for certain and two things for sure. You definitely know how to move forward. You changed it. And I feel like Spirit is saying now, you see these stars, I feel like Spirit is going to reward you. Some of y'all going to be treated like kings and queens because of this change. Spirit is saying, speak life and not death. You shall live and not die, Capricorn. Let's go to Aquarius. We have this card. I'm hearing heavy, 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 heavy. Heavy, heavy, Aquarius. Aquarius, I'm proud of you. If I can just get your last card, and I got 3 cards. I'm proud of you, Aquarius, though, because you really went through changes where you was just about to go over the edge yourself. But you a bad bitch too, or nigga, right? You see, she got the all black on, powerful. You was willing. You done been through some shit, some changes that will break anybody, okay? Had the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. You had a dark cloud over your head. Some of y'all used moving as a way to get away from these things, but it seemed like wherever you move, things followed you, right? Some of y'all changed cities, changed countries, changed states, and the shit changed coming along right with you, right? When I look at this card, I think of value, currency, okay? Not finances, but I feel like you've been through some shit that would have broke anybody, Aquarius. Some dark shit. You've actually felt dead inside. Like, wanted to wither away is what I'm hearing. But you spreaded your wings like the bad bitch or nigga that you are. And you kept it moving. And for that, I'm proud of you, Aquarius. You believe in the universe. And you the universe said and told you, I'm going to make you the head and not the tail. You took a risk and it paid off. When it comes to this thing called life, when it comes to your will to live, you went through changes, but somehow, Aquarius, you always got back on top. You always was able to, like, no matter what circumstances or situations you went through or faced in life, you knew how to get back on top. And you went to whatever you believe in spiritually. We have the universe here. Okay, definitely spiritual. The high priestess, and you're a great, powerful person. Great manifester. So you was able to manifest yourself out. You said, you analyzed, you thought about it, you observed the situation, and you kept it to yourself, right? You didn't tell nobody shit. You didn't say shit to nobody in those times where you probably did lose your will to live, but you just did what the fuck you had to do, is what I'm hearing, Aquarius. And I love you for that. I do. Know that you are powerful, Aquarius, because you are. You was able to magically come out of a lot of shit. Like Houdini. Pisces. Pisces, this is just too much. It's telling me you've probably been through a lot. Maybe just too much. We have this card that finally came out for you. And this card. And this card. And this card. I feel like, Pisces, you have a strong ability to overcome any darkness that you might face, and you have faced some changes when it comes to you and your will to live, right? You face challenges with other people, even. I'm saying, but you were able to look at it from all perspectives. You're able to, like, go to whatever it is you believe in spiritually when you're going through these changes, right? And I just feel like you confidently get through them, okay? Somehow you confidently get through it. I can't even say the fucking word right now, but a lot of you guys, it's something here with attraction. I'm really picking that up heavy. And other competition that has tested your will to live. And others, I'm getting, it's a feminine figure. Now, whether this is a mother, a grandmother, somebody that look like you, I don't know. But I'm getting that. You've been in the darkness, though, Pisces. You have. It's very dark back there. I feel like you feel like maybe you don't. It's something with maybe you could be younger but look older. Or something like that is what I'm getting. Like, you feel very much older than, or past your time. Like, you felt like you didn't belong. You felt like, I don't know, I'm getting all this stuff of you not feeling like you belong, or you feeling like you either aging before your time, or you don't belong here or something like that. You're smart. You're able to like analyze situations and people and things that you are going through. You're able to like sit back and observe these things carefully and closely. And I feel like that's what you did. So it's good that you do that, Pisces. Some stuff have really worn on you or wore you out. And it's been a lot of conflict and drama, pettiness. I feel that really took you there. I don't know what it is. Did somebody play with fire? I'm seeing sparks and fire here. Or did somebody actually get burnt? I don't know if this is somebody you know, Pisces, or you, but that's coming through as well. But this could have tested your will to live or somebody else's that you're close to. I don't know. And it made you look at it like maybe you learned from somebody else's conflict or drama. Only you would know, Pisces. But I feel like because you are able to like look at things, observe things, and actually take action to heal these things and go to whatever you believe in spiritually, I feel like it's in a pretty well-balanced place, okay? Your will to live, Pisces. So, you guys, that is your reading. I hope it made sense. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if it resonates, share with somebody if you think it can help them. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace and love into the next one.